A very good Monday afternoon to you. It is awful here in Manchester, absolutely dreadful. Anyway, you're watching the Fixed Wing Guy channel with me, Stuart Lomas, and I hope I find you very well on this cloudy, awful, dreadful, dismal, damp, well, yeah, awful. Anyway, firstly, sorry I've not been around over the weekend. Very busy weekend for me this weekend. Had full view, in fact, of me suffering very badly today for all the busyness over the weekend, but not so. So I thought, well, I'll make a video. Went out, did a few jobs this morning, so I thought I'll do one as soon as I get back, and I'd had some lunch, so here I am. What this one is just something that kind of popped into my head by seeing something on television. Now obviously by the title of the video you'll have a little bit of an idea of what I'm going to allude to here. We as watch collectors, or a certain percentage of watch collectors, look down upon and sneer at Replica and Homage watches. Now I can I'll hold my hands up and I will accept the sneering and the disdain that is thrown in the direction of replica watches, although I do understand why people buy them. They buy them because they would like the real thing, but as we're aware, the real thing doesn't come cheap. So if they get some form of satisfaction of actually wearing a relatively exact copy of the real thing on their wrist, then power to their elbow, but they must be prepared to be looked down upon and maybe occasionally abused by the watch community. As far as homages are concerned, not got a major problem with homages at all. In fact, wearing one today, which you probably just got a glimpse of. So where am I going with this video? Well, I think this is a good idea and I think it holds water. By all means, I am willing for you to fire back at me and tell me that it's complete nonsense, but here we go. Let us say that we watch collectors go on holiday. And I know we spend all our money on watches and we never go on holiday, I know that. But let's just say that we go on holiday. And we go on holiday to Rio de Janeiro, let's say. Now, we've all seen the pictures of Rio de Janeiro on the TV, and it looks absolutely gorgeous with Copacabana Beach or whatever it's called, and the tanned, beautiful bikini-wearing maidens, and all the dancing and the drinking and everything else that you can do, and all the posh hotels that line the front where the sea comes in. It all looks delightful, and the massive concrete Christ and all that kind of thing. What they don't tell you about Rio de Janeiro, of course, is it has a very, very high crime rate. Massive amounts of drug problems, prostitution problems, muggings of tourists, and so on and so forth. Hence this video. Now, do replica stroke homage watches have a geographical place in this world? Now, you can probably guess where I'm going with this. If you are a owner and treasurer of, let's say, a Rolex two-tone bluesy, for instance, and you love it to pieces, you worked hard to buy it and you saved hard to buy it, and the time has come in your life where you've gone out and bought one, and you love the thing to bits and you absolutely love wearing it. At normal functions, dinner parties and business meetings and office dues at Christmas, let's say, it's perfectly safe because you're in a secure environment with people you know. But if you wander off to a tropical destination like Rio de Janeiro that does have a massive crime rate, and you want to do a little bit of exploration in the town, for instance, because obviously you're not going to spend all day on the beach. So you wander off into town and you're dressed up to the nines and you put your two-tone bluesy on. I think two things. One, you are a target because you are a tourist. And two, you are definitely a target if you have a two-tone bluesy on your wrist. So the point I'm coming to here, and as I say, I will, you're all aware that I own this, and I love it. I think it's great. I have no problem with Invicta whatsoever. So if you have your two-tone bluesy and you love wearing it and you think it's the best thing since sliced bread, but you are going to somewhere which is a little bit less than salubrious, let's say, and you never know the kind of people you're going to bump into, or indeed the kind of people who are going to bump into you accidentally, lifting one's wallet and mobile phone, and indeed divesting you of your wristwatch at knife point potentially. So is this where this comes into play? This is the Invicta two-tone bluesy. It looks like a bluesy, it feels like a bluesy. I love it, I think it's gorgeous, and I love it because it was a gift, and I love it because it actually bears inspection. I absolutely delighted with it. It is a 200-meter pro diver. It is a gorgeous thing, and it also has, if I can do that for you, an exhibition back, as you can see. So here's the question again: do replica watches, stroke homage watches, whether it be a Steinhardt or whatever, something that looks like the 50 fathoms, do they have their geographical place? Is it worth your while, if you love your two-tone bluesy, you think it's fantastic, and you don't want to wear an Invicta, for instance, you buy yourself a replica two-tone bluesy for £100, $150, something like that. And if you're going to somewhere that is a little bit less than salubrious, you put your replica on, or you put your homage on. You're still getting the feeling that you're wearing the watch that you love and you treasure, but are you going to be too worried if a 50 quid or £100 watch or $150 watch is taken off your wrist and that stops you from getting stabbed because you've handed it over? What do you think? I think this one holds water, It may go against everything in your soul that I'm never going to own a homage, and I'm definitely never going to own a replica. But if it stops you getting stabbed, what do you think? Anyway, that's it for this one. I think this holds water as a theory. I know, for instance, my Omega Seamaster 300, which I saved for massively, as you know, and my GMT Master 1. Would I want to lose that? Absolutely not, for so many reasons, and you know the reasons why I wouldn't want to lose that. Would I buy a copy? If it was that important for me to wear a Rolex when I was on holiday, absolutely. I would much prefer to run the risk of that being stolen if I was somewhere a little bit unsavoury than the GMT Master 1 genuine to go missing. So let me know what you think. Do replica stroke homage watches have a geographical place in a watch collection? Anyway, that's it for this one. Thank you very much to my 2 new subscribers that have arrived over the weekend. I have sent you both a welcome message. I hope you got it. I do hope you carry on enjoying this nonsense that I put out, and thank you very much for your support here. I'd like to say a quick thank you to a gentleman called Pete Sweet. Now, Pete Sweet and I have spoken over the weekend. He subscribed to my channel by mistake and unsubscribed, so I dropped him a quick line to ask him why. And he was very honest in saying that what I do and the way that I go about talking about watches is not his way of looking at watches. And a lot of people, to his credit, would not have replied to my question. So thank you very much indeed, Pete Street, for doing that. And as I said in my message to you, there's lots of other content out there on YouTube, and if I'm not a fit, I'm sure you will find somebody else who is. But thank you very much for being honest with me over this weekend. Anyway, that's it. Newcomers, if you want to get involved and you have any questions, queries, comments, suggestions for this kind of nonsense, drop them down below. The rest of you who are here all the time, you know the drill. You can contact me wherever you like. And for now, that's it. I shall speak to you again soon. Bye bye.